I'm John Fowkes. Let's grow someplace. Now, today I've got a really bad infestation of a little irritating bug, and it's so small it's hard to see. Sometimes I'll walk right past them, I won't even realize I have them. So I'm going to give you guys some hints and observations of how I usually find aphids. So today, right here on these this broccoli that's gone off to flower, I noticed that I've got a whole bunch of powdery, it almost looks like a powdery mildew, but you get really close to it and you'll notice that it's a whole bunch of little tiny bugs. So right in this area is a whole bunch of itty bitty little tiny bugs. So now to deal with these bugs, what we need to do is we just need to basically either squish them all or just get them out of the garden, one or the other. I find my chickens kind of like them, so I might feed them to them too. But the best thing to do is just to pick off all the irritating spots and get them out of the garden. They will spread. Once you have them, you'll always have them. Watch out for them. Here I am just picking off all of these bad spots real quick. Okay, so I'm going through this plant and looking and seeing just every once in a while I see one or two on a leaf that have fallen off the things I've pulled. All it takes is one, really. If you have one, there's bound to be two or three more, and they're so small you can't even see them. So what I think I'm going to just do is actually take this entire plant out of here. I might just take it over to the chickens because, you know, they have really good eyesight and they can pick off these little buggers real quick. With aphids, you want to nip it in the bud as quickly as possible. Another way to deal with them is to take just a very little bit of dish soap and put it into a good amount of water. So I've got a spray bottle here. You could just use a pump sprayer, or if you have a neat, you know, pump up sprayer like this or whatever you've got. This happens to be a actual Discovery Kids balloon pumper with soapy water in it. And just spray your plants down and they'll find somewhere else to go instead of your plants. I don't generally wash my plants before I eat them. I just eat them right out of the garden. You've seen me do it 100 times. So because I don't generally wash my food before I eat it, I try to keep away from any kind of chemicals, even dish soap, from spraying it on my plants. So my first mode of attack is get rid of the bugs. So if I can just squish them all, feed them to the chickens, incinerate them, compost them off-site, whatever, I find that that's the number one way to deal with them. Number two would be to take, and if it starts getting to be too big of a problem, a quart jar with a few drops of dish soap seems to quell the problem pretty quickly.
Aphids and adelgids feed on plant phloem. Aphids have a tail-like protrusion called a cauda. Adelgids are sometimes described as aphids, but more properly classified as aphid like insects because they have no cauda or cornicles. Aphid damage can cause a variety of symptoms, such as decreased growth rates and mottled leaves, yellowing, stunted growth, curled leaves, browning, and wilting. Aphid saliva is toxic to plants, and severe infestations can kill the plant. Aphids frequently transmit diseases and plant viruses to their hosts. Some species of ants farm aphids, protecting them on the plants they eat, eating the honeydew that the aphids release. There are many eco-friendly plant extracts like neem and lantana products to protect plants against aphids and control aphids as effectively as chemical insecticides. Aphids and adelgids can be controlled on roses and other home garden plants simply by spraying the plants thoroughly with a strong jet of water every few days. Ladybird beetles, also known as ladybugs, eat aphids. I do not use diatomaceous earth to control insects in the garden to protect the good insects like bees and ladybird beetles. There are more ways to control aphid-like insects, but I will only include what I do in this video.
Ways to find these guys, looking around any of the buds and stuff of any of your flowering plants. And once in a while if you see a curled leaf, for example these leaves right here, you know, it'd be a good place to look for an aphid up underneath, because sometimes aphids will hide themselves in colonies underneath. Let's go over to the nasturtiums and check the nasturtiums for aphids. Okay, so I checked all over the nasturtiums and didn't find any aphids. The one plant seems to be the only place I found any aphids at all. But if they were on my nasturtiums, I'd be looking for leaves like these guys here, and I'd be looking underneath them where they're kind of cupped in umbrella, more of an umbrella shape. These guys are in an umbrella shape because I have not been watering well. So that's the first place I would look on my nasturtiums. If they start really having deformed leaves and umbrella shaped leaves, check them immediately, and really on a nasturtium I would just start spraying the soapy water. I only eat the flowers anyway. I usually don't eat the leaves, though they are edible. Very radishy. Alright, so now let's finish up over there. So I was thinking that I was down to one plant that had aphids, but I'm finding more in the farther western garden I've got here. Got a kohlrabi plant right here. And it's pretty well covered, so I'm gonna take it out too. I might even take the opportunity right now just to clean this entire garden out all the way down to the ground. It kind of sucks that that's the case, but such is life. That's gardening for you. I need to reset this garden anyway and get some more brassicas and stuff into it, like cabbages and broccoli and dino kale, red Russian kale, whatever. This would be a great place to plant that stuff for the winter time. And I found a plant here I wouldn't mind keeping because it's pretty young, but it's covered with these guys. I've decided I was just gonna cover them with soapy water. I guess it stops them from breathing or something, I don't know. But bugs don't like soap. Now I wouldn't consider this 100% organic because it's not an organic soap, but it's the most dangerous chemical I use in my garden. Dishwashing detergent, so cheap dishwashing detergent. And it works for what I need it for. Okay, so with aphids, look real closely. They can be white, purple, yellow. They almost always match your plants. So the ones I get mostly seem to be between a green, purple, yellow, those three shades. They might come in more colors, I don't know. Probably whatever they eat. Mash them first, feed them to your chickens. Incinerate them, soapy water them. I hate to do the soapy water thing because, I mean, soapy water is going to also make other bugs not want to be around that area too. And like your ladybugs, you want them there. So I would say the manual labor thing is the #1 way to do it. And there goes another jet. Boy, they are busy today. This is something we need to look at now. It's important to watch for aphids right now. Between beginning August and mid-August, they're going to start coming out, and they're going to, if you don't nip them in the bud quick, then you're going to have trouble. It's going to be a mess. I know, that was last year. You should have seen my mess. Okay, see you later. I'm John Fowkes. Grow someplace, hopefully without aphids.